Hey everybody, Kairon here, and welcome to Craft the World. This is a game I picked up on Steam. I actually played through the entire thing, and I loved it so much that I decided to make a Let's Play on it for all you folks out there. So, we are going to get right into it. We're going to go through the campaign. Starting at level 1 is the easiest level, and then we have to unlock the other 3 levels all the way out to the Land of Dangerous Caves, which, as you can imagine, is very, very dangerous. So, we're going to start out on the easy level and go ahead and get it started. So, for those of you who are not familiar with this game, we're going to skip the tutorials. I'm going to be your handy-dandy tutorial for this round. For those of you that are unfamiliar with the game, it is a 2D game, and you have to dig down and build up, kind of similar to almost like a 2D version of multiplayer Minecraft kind of feel to it. So hopefully you all enjoy. So the first thing that we're gonna do is get acquainted with the controls a little bit. So we've got currently 1 population, we've got some mana, got some gold, all of that we will get to a little bit later. The big thing that we want to watch out for right now is the research tab over here. So the research tab is going to get us all the way to the end, and we need to make sure that we get up to our mithril weapons and armor and all that good stuff before we start taking on some of the bosses of this. So that is our goal, and we are going to work our way there. You can only work on the tier that you currently have highlighted here. So basic tool making is the only thing that we can do right now. So let's go ahead and get that taken care of. We also need to figure out what we want to do with our house. I have 2 house designs, one that goes up in the sky and then one that we do underground. I might do a sky base on this one. They're pretty fun. So, yeah. Well, let's get to it. First thing I'm going to do, if you right click or you can left click on pretty much anything in the area and start to mine the resources. This guy's going to be pretty slow. You can see he just has a stone knife that he's chopping that down. If you hit F3, you can actually speed it up, or you can click on your level modifier over here to get it to 2 times speed. So we'll get a little bit of wood, we'll get some food going, we'll start working on our tasks. The tasks, unfortunately, are not all that robust. It pretty much just says you must craft items to finish this research, and then that goes on and on and on. So as you research things, then you will progress through the tasks mostly. First task we need to do that actually has a mission, though, is many minerals are deep underground. Make a downward sequence of blocks to dig a tunnel, which we should do. You can also hit H to get back to your home, for those who have not played this before. There's a couple things that we want to take care of as far as the starting goes. So we want to make a sky base in this one. We have to make a platform first. We need to make some defenses so that we can survive our first portal and all that. So we've got a second dwarf here, which is good. What do we want to do? So let's start going down our tech tree. Club doesn't really do anything. We want to make a stone pickaxe and stone axe. So a club does 15 damage. But a stone axe does 12 damage anyway, so it doesn't really pay to do that extra 3 damage right now. It's just kind of a waste of materials. So let's go ahead and get some stone. I think we'll get some stone from right here. So I'm just going to mine out all the stone in the area. And this world has 3 layers. So you can see we're digging out the first layer. Below that is a second layer. And then once we dig that out, there's a third layer, which is either sky, or if you're underground, it's just unminable cavern type of area. So, we've got some stone. Got a new task. Like I said, just as we progress, we're going to finish tasks automatically, so it's not a big deal if you follow them or not. So we have enough materials that we can start making some pickaxes and axes. So the crafting recipes, you have to drag the materials in the first time, so you can see that these are on parchment paper, meaning that we haven't actually researched them yet. But once we research them, then we can just auto-craft them. So if you have any materials that are side by side like this, you can just drag one material over, double click on it, and it'll fill in the rest of the material for you. So we have an axe, and we're going to make a pickaxe And I'm going to double click on that, fill in all that wood, and there we go. So we have an axe and we have a pickaxe available to us. I'm actually going to, since we have 2 of these guys, I'm going to make 1 of each. Like I said, now that we already have the recipe done, the parchment went away, we can just click this to fill in the recipe, and then click it again to make 1, fill in the recipe, and then make 1. And then down at the bottom of the screen we have equip. We're going to double click and give them each a stone axe and a stone pickaxe so that they can do their thing. Alright, so now the climbing mechanic in this game is a little bit wonky, something you might have to get used to, but I'll kind of go through it. So right here, they can't actually get up here because there's no actual path that they can take to get there. So what I'm going to do is, I'll just build a stone. We're going to bring some stone down into our hotbar here, and I'm just going to build a stone wall there. So now that there's a background, there's that second layer in there, they can actually climb up that to get to the next level here. Possibly. Maybe not. Sometimes they get a little derpy. There they go. So now that they have a background, they can't actually stand on this, but they can use it for climbing. So let's get some more materials. See if we have any new tasks that we can do. Need to craft, build a shelter, and need to craft. So nothing that we can do at the moment. So let's get rid of our scaffolding now that we can destroy this block. You cannot destroy any block that has an entity on top of it. So that's why we had to destroy that tree before we could get that dirt. Alright. How do I want to do this? Let's make. That's no good. So we want to protect our portal here because this is where our storage is as well. But like I said, I want to build a sky base, so I might do an area that's a sky base and an underground area. Yeah, let's do it that way. So let's finish out our tech tree here. We're at 79%. We do have a new person coming up pretty soon here. So let's just get an axe and a pickaxe ready for them. So now you can see, now that we gained a level and we finished basic tool making, we have a couple more things that we have available to us. Let's see. So we're going to need ladders, hatches, bridges, table, and bed. Those are going to be important to us. So we got a 3rd level. That means we can get a 3rd dwarf. And let's start. Let's equip this guy. So we got an axe and we got a pickaxe. And let's make a ladder. So we're going to need a lot of ladders. Over here you can do 1, 10, and 50 crafting. Just makes it a little bit easier to do all that stuff in bulk. So we finished basic woodworking just by building those 10 ladders, and we moved on to basic armor. So cool stuff. Alright, let's put that there so that they have a little bit of scaffolding so that they can get up and over here so they can start taking out that tree. And we got a ghost miner. So these ghosts, they're really annoying. They don't actually attack you or anything like that. They pretty much just come by and take stuff out of your storage and whip it all around. So when you see those guys, you just want to kill them. Or kill them again. I guess they're ghosts, so you can't really kill them, but you just chucked our apples. What a jerk. What a jerk. Alright, so I think we will start our sky base. I do want to get a little bit of dirt going here. We got a little plague bloated zombie over here, and we got some skeletons that are drowning. So one good defensive maneuver is to have 2 high walls around so that they can't actually climb over. Eventually, when these skeletons get the little the buckler shields, they can make ladders and things like that, but the first round they're usually pretty easy. So those guys will show up at night, so just kind of be aware. Alright. So I think I want to make our sky base starting right here. So we'll just build a ladder system all the way up. And one thing that I would recommend for a future expansion is eventually you'll get an elevator, and that elevator requires one spot on each side of your ladder to be able to place the elevator top block. So just make sure that you don't have like your storage, your portal, or anything immediately adjacent to the ladder. Otherwise you'll be having some issues later with some of your placement. And hey, we get another dwarf. Fantastic. Alright, so let's get him a pickaxe, and we're out of stone. So we can take down all of this. We can kind of level out the terrain here. I think this is probably going to be... Well, let's see how far we can get before I start planning out our house. We need to make sure that we have enough room to cover our stockpile here. So they're mining away, and let's start digging down too. So we'll need some dirt. Do we have any dirt? We do have some dirt. Let's grab our dirt here, and we're going to start making a back wall for our little stockpile here. And hey, we got a book. Cookbook. So, when you get books, they're going to show up in your equip area. So each one of these guys has a specific profession that they have. They can have up to 3 professions. I would recommend that you do one kind of a crafting job, one fighting job, and then one sort of resource gathering job. So this archer already has the fighting job. This miller has a crafting job. Another miller. Fisher, we have it's a resource person. So we have a pretty good portfolio so far. We don't have any miners, which is not good. No miners, no loggers. Miners and loggers right away are the best. But gotta do what you gotta do. Alrighty. So let's, oh, that could be good or bad. So we dug down, let's get a ladder down here. I'm actually going to turn sounds down just a little bit so it's not deafening all of you people. So this right here is a secret room. Let's get some of our spells going. So if you hold control, you can go to a second hotbar, and I usually put our spells down on the second hotbar just so they're out of the way but easily accessible. I'm going to use the Mage Light version, and I'm going to click into the secret room. Alright. So I got a little light going. It gets rid of the fog of war permanently, but eventually once these lights go out, it's going to be dark. But we'll still be able to see inside. So we have a beholder here. Unfortunately, that is too tough for us to actually kill right now. So we might have to go around this until we get a little bit better weapons and armor and more dwarves and all that good stuff. And this right here is a door. Zombies and skeleton, actually I think they're all zombies that come out of these, but zombies can come out of these in like packs of 10 and just wreck your day. So just gotta be careful. It doesn't happen all the time, and I think on the easiest level that doesn't happen, but in the harder levels it happens pretty regularly. So, alright. So I think we got some resources going. Let's see what we can actually make here. So our basic illumination, we're already at 64% just because we use Mage Light, but you can also craft materials as well. So we do have enough materials to make some torches. So let's just fill in the rest of our basic illumination with that. There we go. So we got basic illumination done. We can go on to basic cooking once we get basic furniture done. I don't think we have any rope. So yeah, we need wool for that, and we don't have any. But we have a sheep over here, so let's go ahead and kill that sheep. we can get some wool. Our putrid fatty zombie over here. Go ahead and just take him out. Easy peasy. And another dwarf. Fantastic. So the levels right away are pretty fast. Once you get up to about level 10, then it starts giving you levels a lot slower. So this guy's got a buckler. He can hold that up, and now these guys can get over. So we just want to be a little bit careful with that. So let's have them. I don't. The pathing in this game is a little derpy. So select dwarf, control. Just kind of get him unstuck, and then they'll go back over to their thingy. So yeah, this little sun, if you hit the sun, it'll turn to the dwarves are forbidden to leave the shelter. And I accidentally alt-tabbed. Sorry about that. And yeah, so they're forbidden to leave the shelter, so they won't go and try and mine resources or anything like that. Just kind of protect them up so that they don't get wrecked. So they may try to get these resources down here, unfortunately. Yeah. So let's kind of keep them inside during the day. Alright, while we're at it, let's start building up our wall here. Build blocks. And there we go. So, yeah, we'll start building our wall behind this so that we can close that off, and then we're going to leave a gap here, and then we're going to start building our sky base. Alright, so now that it's daytime, I don't have to worry about them going over and getting slaughtered by those skeletons, which is good. Alright, what do we got here? So, we need to make some beds, we need a wooden table, we need to get some food going, and we need some rope. Actually, it looks like we did get the wool, so that's good. So let's throw our wool in there, we'll get some rope. I'm going to go back and we're going to make a backpack. So backpacks are actually pretty important. Depending on what the material is, sometimes they can only carry one thing without a backpack. With a backpack, they can carry, like you can see that he's carrying 3 things right now because they're 3 light things. But it's a lot better if they all have a backpack, so we're just going to outfit everybody. Alright, so we have a smith. We have Fisher, Miller, Archer. I'm going to make the Smith into our warrior, and I'm going to make our Miller into our cook. So then we got somebody that's going to mill and cook, so he's pretty much going to stay in the base all the time, kind of cooking and doing all that kind of stuff. Actually, these goblins are going to be a problem. They can build ladders, so you can't really do much about defending against them. Except for killing them. And these guys are actually pretty tough. So let's retreat. Let's regroup. And then we'll kind of take them on hand. Hopefully we don't have any dwarves die here, especially my warrior, because I don't want to have to get another warrior book. Yeah, we should be fine. So, what else do we need to do here? We've got some metalworking going, we've got some basic construction. Do we have enough? Yeah, we have some leaves available to us. So let's start making some beds so that our guys can start getting some rest. And yeah, so I think what I'll do is I'll start out just by making a little bit of an underground area. Let's actually make a hatch so that we can seal it off. Alright, so we'll get rid of that ladder. We'll get rid of all of the dirt down here. We'll start putting down some beds. We'll put in our hatch. Get another dwarf. Fantastic. So that means we have 6 dwarves now. Alright. Beds need to have 1 space between them, so since we put a bed here, we won't be able to put one there. So you need to make sure that you have enough clearance. Let's fill that guy in so we don't get them falling down there all the time. And I'm going to go into craft, and where is it? It's in our third tab here. We have a totem. So the totem marks out where your residence is. So let's put in our totem, and you'll see in just 1 second. And there we go. So our comfort is poor because we don't have any good materials in here. It's the crappiest beds, and it's surrounded by dirt. But it's not too bad. You can see the star outline is kind of going around where our little protected area is. So that's where our home area is. If you don't have the hatch here, this home is actually going to be incomplete because it needs to have walls on all sides. So just by destroying that, I just want to show you. Now our house is incomplete, so we have no comfort. They won't be able to sleep in these beds. The shelter borders have been violated, so we need to have walls on all sides. It can go as far underground as you want, but you need to make sure that you stop it from reaching the outside air. So now if I hit Control R, I can force all of my guys to go to sleep, and they will slowly regen hearts. Since our comfort is only 5%, the regen is going to be really super slow, but it's better than nothing. So let's go for a wooden table so we can start getting some food up here. Let's put the table down there. And what do we have for food available to us? So we don't have the recipes where we can actually craft good food yet. We only have some raw stuff. So pine cones are a good first food, just to kind of get everybody going. Because you can't make anything out of pine cones. Eventually, once we get up to like grilled meat and stuff like that, we want to use our meat and all of our berries and eggs for the better food. Alright, so what else we got here? We do need a pot. We need some iron for that. We need, let's make another wooden table. We are going to need wooden tables anyway. We can build better tables in the future, but we need wooden tables to be able to make a workbench. So once we eventually find iron, we're going to recycle that wooden table and be able to use it. And so we're not wasting materials at all. Let's see, where's our better table? So here's our large table. It's quite a ways in the distance, so we'll have to stick with the crummy table as well. We can. So we need a pot, which means we need iron. If you have the expansion of the game, you can zoom out and it'll show you where all the different deposits are. I would highly recommend that you get at least the first expansion. If you don't intend to play multiplayer, you don't have to get the I can't remember what it's called. It's called like the Brotherhood pack. That one's really only for multiplayer use. So we'll stick with what we got. So these are coal, these are iron. We need iron especially, but we'll go ahead and grab some coal as we find it. And when you're kind of digging out, I usually recommend the first couple of layers you do 2 high walls. This will allow you to put in all kinds of stuff like the forge and the mill and all kinds of different buildings and things. So. And make it too high with a floor in between. It'll just be the most efficient for you. Alright. So I think we got the workbench unlocked as well, right? Yes, we do. So once we get some iron, we'll be able to make one of those. Alright, let's clear out some materials here. I'll get a couple of those guys. And good. So I think we're off to a pretty good start so far. I know it's been a little bit slower than I normally go, but I just kind of wanted to explain just in case anybody out there has never played this before and kind of interested in what I'm doing. But going forward, I think it'll go a little bit faster so that we can make some progress here. First thing we need to do, though, is we need to get some iron. That's the important thing. Alright, so these guys are going a little bit slow. So you can actually take control of your dwarves, and you can kind of force them to do things for you. So if they're being derpy and they're just not doing what they're supposed to be doing, or they're going slow, then you can kind of take control of them and do whatever you need to. The nice thing about controlling a dwarf is they actually have an increased range. So a normal dwarf would only be able to reach the 9 blocks around them. So, you know, 1 to the left, 1 to the right, 1 up and 1 down. So these 9 blocks. So nobody would be able to reach that unless they climbed up here and got it. The nice thing about controlling your dwarfs, you can reach 1 extra range. So if there's something that you mined out and you can't reach it and you don't want to build scaffolding or anything like that to get up to it, sometimes it's easier just to take control of your dwarf and have them do it that way. So I can just have this guy kind of go to town, get all this mined up, and we don't really have to worry about the AI trying to determine if this is the most efficient thing to do right now. Alright, so I think we got a good amount of materials so far. So let's go back and let's make ourselves a workbench. And a table. Boom. There we go. So we've got a workbench that will allow us to start making some more advanced materials. We'll wait for them to place that down, and then we are going to make some of these. So we need to make a bucket. Bucket's going to be important for the forge and some things like that because we need to get water. So the first thing that we need to do is make some planks. We're actually going to make a bunch of planks. Let's just make like an actual bunch of planks, because we are definitely going to use them. And luckily in this world we don't really have to worry about wood so much. Some of the other worlds, like the next one, the world is a desert and it's a lot harder to get wood. The one after that, or the next one is a winter world, so it's harder to get wood. And the one after that is a desert, which is even harder. So, gotta take for granted the ability to just chop down a tree. So, alright. And then we also need nails. Nails is just a couple of iron, so we can craft those up, and those are good. So once we get our planks, we can start getting some water. Once we get water, then we can start doing some more advanced recipes here. Alright, so let's get some cooking going as well. We have iron now, so we can make a pot, and then we can make ourselves a cooking fire. There we go. So we'll get that in place, and then we can start working on some more advanced food items. We get mixed greens, grilled meat, and fried eggs. I think grilled meat is really the top tier meat that you can get, if I remember correctly. I don't usually do meat recipes because meat's a lot more annoying to get. You have to start a farm, you have to go out and you have to hunt these warthogs and things like that. So it's just annoying. There we go. I didn't want them going after that chicken at night. So one other thing that I didn't mention that I probably should is we have a market over here. So we've got this grunt, and he's got a shop, and we can use our coins to buy some things. A couple of things I would recommend are wool, because wool early game is really hard to get. You have to wait for sheep to spawn, and then you have to travel a long ways to get them. The other thing I would recommend is books. So the books at the end are only 2 gold a piece. They're really valuable right away because you can start working on gaining levels in those. So say the warrior, if you have somebody who does 20 damage without a warrior book, they do 20 damage. If they have a warrior book and they have the profession, every time they gain 10 levels, they do 1 extra damage. So it's important that you let them level up quite a bit. So it's good to have those from the beginning. So let's see if we have anything else. So we have an axe, we have that, and we have a spear. So let's give the spear to our warrior. Right here you can see the max damage that somebody does. So this does 20, and they're a warrior, so they do 22. This does 12 damage, they're not a warrior, so they do 12 damage flat. Wow, that tree exploded. That was a lot of materials. Alright, so we've got some planks done. I think we probably have enough for a bucket. We do. So let's go ahead and get our bucket done. And once the bucket is made, we can start getting some water. So we'll wait for our bucket. I think it makes, does it make 2 buckets? If I remember correctly, it makes 3 buckets. Fantastic. So that one recipe is pretty cheap and easy. So now we have a bucket. Eventually, once they bring that back, we can click on this water supply and they'll start gathering water for us. We'll kill him. There we go. So we'll gather some water, we'll take these guys out. Now that everybody has some pretty good weapons and axes and pickaxes, and we have a lot of dwarfs on hand, I'm not too worried about nighttime. Please kill him so he stops throwing our materials around. Oh boy. Alright. I might make a lake as well if we can, because the nearest lake that has fish in it, you have to have it 3 deep, or actually I think you can do 2 deep. It has to be like 2 by 2 or 2 by 3, something like that, to get fish in it. Fish are actually a great resource of food, so we wanna. I might actually make a lake right here so that we have easy access to that. Stupid ghost miners. So annoying. So annoying. Alright. So what else we got here? I think with the amount of planks that we're making, we should be good to get that leveled. As you can see, where the yellow bar is going all the way to the end. So we just need to wait for that to finish. Let's actually make another workbench. Just so that we can go a little bit faster. I usually make 2 workbenches, and then that'll kind of keep us going through the rest of the game. So it'll just make things go a lot faster. You probably need to make 500 planks over the entirety of the game, so it's good to have that in place. All right, so let's get some more food in place here. This requires apples. Apples I kind of like to use for apple pie. Apple pie is a lot better food source. But this isn't bad. So this does 2% healing. Anything with apples gives you 2% healing, which is great. In the other worlds, you can't get apples at all, so you kind of lose that, just to kind of make you aware. So let's gather the water here so that we don't have that sitting there. And there we go. Alright, let's get some of this going. Get some more wood. I'm actually going to put a portal up here so that they have a little bit easier time gathering materials. When you use a portal, it makes a portal here and then the endpoint wherever you click on it. So, yeah, it just makes it a lot easier because they can chop these down, they can go through the portal, gather materials, bring them back, all that good stuff. Do we have any wool? We do not. So yeah, I think I actually am going to... Do I want to buy some wool? I don't think I need to buy some wool. We've got one over here. We've got 2 over here. I think I'll do that. So let's kill all these guys. Didn't mean to do that. And we get actually 2 rope just from leveling up, so that helps. Alright, so we'll get some wool from that. We'll get some meat so we can keep going on that. And that should be good. What do we got here? Alright, meat. We have 1 meat, so we can make some more grilled meat. We can work on our basic cooking. We've got some wool, so we can do... Let's see, where's rope? Rope. We can make some more rope, and since we have more rope, we can make some more backpacks. And then we can equip those. A lot of basic stuff doesn't require any kind of crafting time, so we can put those on right away. And we have almost everybody outfitted with a backpack, which is pretty fantastic. All right. We are getting there. So I think we are probably gonna call that for the day. I think we made some good progress. We got our tech tree is underway. We got some good materials made. We've got our makeshift house. Next time we can start working on our sky base now that we have enough wood. So we've got 54 wood, and we can start making some of the good stuff. We do need to hit basic construction so that we can get some wooden walls and doors and that kind of stuff. So we'll need to work on some basic iron and all that. Oh, before we go, rat's nest. Make sure that you take out a rat's nest as quickly as possible. Kill all the rats. These rats will seek out this table and they'll kill you. And if you have some really expensive food over here, it's no good. So, yeah. But yeah, like I said, that is where we're going to call it for the day. Hope you all enjoyed. If you have any questions, comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If you think it went too fast, too slow, if you want to hear any more explanations or want to see any kind of specific progression, please feel free to let me know, and I will do what I can. Otherwise, take care, and see you next time.